Welcome back, everybody, to Speculation About Nonsense.
I take offense with that title.
Why?
I don't think we speculate about nonsense. I think we say cold hard facts about very important issues, and that should be the name of the podcast.
Cold hard facts about very important issues.
Exactly.
I'm gonna make a new logo.
Yes.
Cold hard facts about
Very important
issues.
Thank you.
I don't think it rolls off the tongue. I mean, not that Speculation About Nonsense really rolls off the
Cold
tongue.
hard facts about very important issues. No, it rolls.
If it was an initial, like an acronym, it would be a little bit easier. But we'll have to workshop this, and we'll come back to you guys about this. But for now, we'll just go with the working title: Speculation About Nonsense. Welcome, guys.
Welcome.
Episode 9.
Yes.
Episode 9. Oh my God, we are almost at a decade of doing this. Basically,
a decade
one a
episodes.
year is what it feels like.
Yeah. We basically make one every month.
2 a month. Yeah, we've gotten to do that because months are too short.
You know what?
It's hard to do these every week. It's crazy to think that there are podcasters that do 2 a week.
Well, they don't have day jobs.
That's true. Yeah. I think it would be fun to be able to do more of this, but it's just, you got responsibilities and stuff. So
I know you see, this is the problem with capitalism.
Yeah.
You have to work.
If we had a better budget for this podcast, we would have better stands. This stand is a much better one that Ian let me borrow. That one is terrible. We got it for like $30, and I got sandbags so that they stop falling over, and they didn't come with the sand. Like, why would you sell a sandbag with no sand in it?
And I told Bronson we should just go to the beach and get free sand.
But I don't want to do that because I don't think it's ecologically moral to do that because it's taking it away from some hermit crabs that need a place to live.
We can give it back.
But here's the deal. So that kind of reminded me of Hawaii, how they've had this widespread issue. I was listening to this on last week tonight, that people who visit Hawaii, they go to this one national park there and take rocks home. And there's, I think, a long established lore that it brings bad luck to take away volcanic rock from Hawaii. So all the time, the people at this park get mail of rocks that people have mailed back to them out of guilt. And they're just sick of going through these rocks, And I just, it's like, I wouldn't, I mean, it's different, obviously. We can just drive to the beach.
Yes.
But it just feels like, what? If it's not yours, don't take it.
Well, we can go to a public beach in which the sand is ours. We pay taxes.
It isn't. We've just decided that it's ours, but it isn't. It's the Earth's. It belongs to the Earth. And I know it's the most Earth fucking cookie thing I've ever said.
And the Earth belongs to us.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
To us. No. Yeah,
is that who it belongs to?
Me.
There are going to be a lot of people pissed at that. But you know what? This is cold hard facts.
About very important
issues.
See how easily it rolls off the tongue?
It doesn't, but
it does.
We'll keep at it, guys.
You need to practice. Like,
cold hard facts. I've remembered cold hard facts.
About very important issues.
That would be easier as a title, cold hard facts podcast.
About very important issues.
I don't know. It kind of reminds me of vital information for your everyday life from All That.
Beautiful title.
It's a great name. Yeah,
love it.
That was a great sketch.
Cold hard facts about very important.
Unfortunate with Dan Schneider being who he is, but that was a funny sketch on All That. Yeah. So
sorry, I'm a little delirious right now, and the reason why
because he thinks he's a night owl, and I'm very much not a night owl, and so you go out at night until it becomes bright again, and then you're like, let's do day shit.
Yes.
And then your body's like, no, we're not doing that.
See, but here's the thing. I am a night owl. Mm-hmm. I'm not a day person. So
I am. I have to be.
I hate the sun. It's like, why is it out? Why is it so bright? Go away.
Yeah.
Like, just chill, bro.
Do you ever get, because I've always wondered this. My hair always increases by about 40 degrees whenever it's sunny, because I think it's because my hair is black, and so it attracts heat. And I always wondered, do you get really hot?
No.
During the sun? Like I'm always curious, is it harder for people with darker skin to deal with the sun being super hot?
You see, because
it would absorb heat, right?
No, I don't think melanin works the same way like regular color does.
But why does hair?
See, I don't know if you know this, Bronson, but I am black.
I had a suspicion.
I know. Some people suspect, but
yeah.
If they close their eye, I can. Well, anyways, so
where'd you go? Oh wait, my eyes are. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah,
My
yeah.
eyes were closed.
So
Sorry.
I am black, in fact, and so my only experience of dealing with the sun is as a black person, and it doesn't bother me.
Right. I guess you don't really have a frame of reference.
Yeah.
So yeah. I wonder if there's maybe like a test that somebody could like get like a thermometer. You know, like the COVID thermometer gun that's like the radar gun for like nerds.
But the thing is, like, black people, darker skinned people specifically have dark skin to deal with the sun.
Yeah, that's true. You were explaining like, you know,
Melanin.
part of that is evolved from people being isolated and growing up and evolving in like near the equator.
Yeah.
You know, whereas people with lighter skin were farther away from the sun and so didn't have as much evolutionary need for melanin, I guess. So,
I mean, like, it's the whole thing with like dark skin, like melanin helps. That's why like rates of skin cancer are more prevalent with it. Not that black people can't have skin cancer.
Yeah.
We can, but like.
But it's more with people who have lighter skin.
Because they get more easily sunburnt.
Huh.
Versus like I could be in the sun for a lot longer before like it becomes an issue.
Interesting.
Like I've never had a sunburn in my life. I don't know what it feels like.
Well, I mean,
and I never used to wear sunscreen before like the age of like 22. I do now because you know
everybody should wear sunscreen.
Everyone should wear sunscreen.
Do I like it? No, but there is one sunscreen I do really like that I will tolerate. It's La Roche-Posay.
Oh my god, I love La Roche-Posay.
It's the best one because it doesn't feel slimy. It doesn't look like you just climbed out of just like a bucket of jizz all day. Like it looks, it blends in, it dries up. It's like a lotion essentially.
Yeah. Also,
you know? It's
I mean,
nice, but it's more expensive. That's the downside.
You can also just get moisturizer that has SPF.
Like where? Where do I get that?
La Roche-Posay also has moisturizer that
has
SPF
you're going to get,
30.
Well, La Roche-Posay, either way. I don't put stuff on my skin usually. I never think, my God, my skin is dying because I feel like if you put, I've always had this pet theory that if you put moisturizer on your skin, you're weakening your skin in a way because your skin's not doing any of the work. And whenever you stop taking care of your skin has to finally step in and be like, you know what? I can tell you're not going to contribute to this relationship, so I'm going to just fix that.
I think it's more that
maybe
like it's like an abusive relationship in which no, it's a healthy relationship.
I just don't want to be sticky all day.
You're not sticky all day. Listen, a good moisturizer.
Then moist.
Think of it this way. So like if you are in a relationship, right? And you are helping your partner all the time, making sure they have everything they need. The day that like you can't provide for them, they can return the favor. That's what moisturizer does. Moisturizer, you help your skin. It's like, you know what? I'm going to make sure you don't have to do that much work to be in good condition. So when I do get old and I'm no longer able to like produce the...
So it's only in old age do you see the benefits
yes.
of the moisturizer.
Yes.
But I also have olive skin, which is famously good with old people.
Yeah, but like...
You know? Like Cindy Crawford, you know, I'm of her kind of... I'm
white
basically
people.
Cindy Crawford.
You are what they call spicy white.
That's right. I am the kind of white that's like, I bet he likes pita bread. You know what I mean?
A lot of people think you're Hispanic.
My whole childhood, I was always asked, "What are you?"
Yeah. No, it's so funny because I've had conversations with an ex-friend. You know the one.
I sure do.
That's a story. But they got so offended by the fact that you said you were white.
That I said I was white?
Yeah, they were like, look at what he looks like. How could he say that?
Well, so like it all depends on the definition. It's like
no. Like they thought you were like denying your like culture, your Irish culture.
Sure. Well, so I'm Armenian of Armenian descent, but it's I'm like it was my great grandfather who was Armenian, and he was like 5 whenever he and his sisters fled. This is what I've been told. I don't know how accurate this information is, but it's like he was barely culturally connected because of that. And I don't know very much about Armenia. I tried at one point to try to learn like how to write because it's a cool looking script. It looks like a bunch of number 2s. If you ever look at Armenian text, there's a big Armenian community in Glendale.
There is all over LA.
Yeah, in LA especially. And I was just like, man, I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like I've seen movies where people have been like separated from their culture and then they reunite or something, you know? I don't know. But it feels weird because I'm like, I don't feel like that at all. Like my mom is, you know, blonde and looks nothing like me. It's always been a little long-standing joke with me and my sister that I was like the adopted one whenever we were out.
No, your sister.
But I looked like dad and she looks like mom, and it's just crazy. Blonde hair, blue-eyed.
Your twin sister. It's so crazy when I met her. I'm like, oh my God, Carly. Like, it's so funny because like you have very different coloring, but you look alike.
You think?
Yeah, you definitely like. I look at. I'm like, oh no, I see similar.
Maybe kind of similar mannerisms. I don't know.
No, I think it's like similar features.
I don't know.
But like the coloring is completely different.
Yeah.
Like her skin is so pale, her hair is like blonde, bright blue eyes.
We're like American Girl dolls, basically, you know? Yeah, but no, anyway, what were we talking about?
We are going to talk about, we're talking about why I'm delirious.
Why you're delirious.
Yes. So I went out last night, really fun with some friends, and I did not get home until 1:50, 2 o'clock in the morning, which is normally fine. That's when I normally go to bed. The problem was I had work at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I came home, went to bed at like 2, woke up at 5:30 and went to work, and I was just slamming coffee all day. I'm
surprised you're here.
I
appreciate that you're doing this.
This is not my first rodeo. I genuinely believe if you like play hard, you work hard. Like this is at
then
work.
You crash hard.
Then you crash hard. I'm literally.
Thank God he doesn't drive. I drive his ass everywhere.
I know. Yeah. No. This is like one of my biggest pet peeves at work is when someone calls out because they're hungover or because they went out to. I'm like, those were bad decisions you make. Deal with the fucking consequences. Yeah. Don't be a little bitch. Like if you're gonna go out and party, go out and party and then suffer the consequences the next day like a normal grown person. Thank you very much.
I've often like if I've been up late one night and gone to work and I felt really exhausted, I've always just thought to myself like, God, it would be really nice to call out sick, but I have too much integrity to lie to people. I can't.
Oh, I can do it so easily.
I can't, because then here's what's gonna happen.
Bronson, let me give you an example.
Karma's gonna happen.
No, wait, listen, Bronson.
Go for it.
Do you want to know how easily I can lie?
You tell me how good I look every day.
Bronson, oh my God, that shirt, amazing. Your outfit today,
here's the deal,
belongs on the cover of Vogue.
Before this podcast started, I was just like, yeah, I look like crap today. And then he's like, no, you look great. And I'm like, no, I don't. And then you look at yourself and you're like, God, I look like shit. And I'm like, see, this is why I don't trust your opinion, because you're not honest with me. And you're like, well, I just hold myself to a different standard. It's like, but what fucking, that doesn't make any sense. We're, hold me to your standards, People
are different.
Be real.
No, like my hair is not great today. I feel sluggish.
Okay, I'm just, because your hair looks the same to me no matter what.
That's because I've not done shit with it in like the longest
time. No, but it doesn't look bad. It's just like, I'm like, I feel like I don't know what bad hair would look like for you.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I love that. Never know what my bad. Like if I notice it looks bad, just be like, no, you look great.
It's like whenever Ian complains about his hair looking bad, he has curly hair, so it's just like it already has volume all the time.
Yeah.
My hair, because it's straight, is always, you can very easily tell whenever it's not taken care of. But whenever you have voluminous hair, it's kind of like set.
No, it's like the difference between people knowing what's intentional and when it's not. It's like, do I want it to intentionally look kind of tussled and like I just roll out of bed?
Yeah. Or I wore a hat today because my hair was not having it. And I need to get a haircut, really.
I also need a haircut. But I also want to grow out my hair.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But no, so listen, I
miss your dreadlocks. Dreadlocks were cool as fuck.
I know.
I hate that you got rid of them.
I want to grow my hair out and get them again.
You should totally do that.
I'm totally going to do that. I also miss them. I'm like, it was
cool.
It was one of my ADHD things in which I impulsively got rid of them. And then I'm like, oh, actually, I kind of liked it.
I'm glad you don't have kids.
I will get on all the drugs.
I just had this impulse one day to just drop this kid off in the middle of the desert.
Like,
he's still there?
Yeah, he'll be fine. No, it's like
I gave him an apple juice
having dreadlocks takes so much time and patience.
Yeah.
That for me, I'm not very emotional, but when I do get very emotional, one of the first things I do is to get a haircut or change my hair in some way. I am like a woman in that regard. I feel you, my sisters. I feel you.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what happened. I woke up one day. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me change my hair. And then I did. I'm like, fuck.
It sucks that it's a subtractive process inherently because you can't. I mean, unless you add extensions, but it's like sculpting where except whatever you sculpt doesn't grow back.
Yeah.
So it's a subtractive thing. So if you over subtract, you're kind of screwed. You
For a
just got to
while.
subtract it evenly at the
Yeah.
end, you know?
So yeah, that is why. So where was our topic? I feel like this is the
I
most
don't know.
us podcast.
Yeah.
Because we have topics that we're going to talk about today.
We were talking about how you were delirious.
We were talking about our delirious. We ended up on dreadlocks.
Yeah.
If you want to know what a
This is what
average
ADD is
conversation-
like. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a perfect example
This
of
is a
it.
pretty low structure episode, I think.
know.
But
I'm having fun though.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
One thing I know you wanted to talk about today, because just coming back from work, is bad customers.
Yes.
And I would love to hear about your experience.
There are customers that frequent any establishment. This is a piece of advice from a service worker. I do not give a single, not one, a single flying fuck about the prices. Don't talk to me about it. Yes, the prices went up. No, I can't do anything about it. No, you're not the first one to bring it up. Shut the fuck up. Thank you very much. It's one of those things where everyone thinks they are a special little snowflake.
Right.
And they are the first one to have mentioned something. They're like, soon it's going to cost an arm and a leg. I'm like, you're the fifth person to say that today. Thank you very much.
Well, just imagine thinking you can negotiate with a Starbucks person. Like, it's like the price is the price. It's like you go to Walmart, you don't haggle. It's the price.
So
you just pay the price, or you go somewhere else.
What do you want me to do about it? No,
Yeah.
like I had this customer today. Oh my gosh.
Which is crazy because you've worked retail predominantly in corporate retail,
Yeah.
or whatever you would call it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, whereas because I've done well, you can keep going on with your point. I want you to finish.
No, it's like we in a corporate place like Starbucks, where it's like the price is set. I can't change. I mean, I can't change it. Like, that's what it is. I'm sorry if it sucks. I'm sorry if you can't afford it. But guess what? Starbucks is a luxury item. You don't need it. If you can't afford it, don't go to Starbucks. I feel like so many people make decisions about things they can afford or should not do, and then expect it to be cheap. I'm like, you can make coffee at home.
Yeah.
That is it will be so much cheaper. But you chose to come here and spend $7 on sugar water. I'm sorry, the sugar water costs money.
I'll be honest.
If you can't afford it, don't come.
I don't really love the sugar-free vanilla latte that I get because I'm like cutting out sugar, and it ain't it.
I don't like our sugar-free vanilla.
It's really bitter.
I just like the regular vanilla. It's really
I'm
good.
sure it's really good if I had some damn sugar in it, but whatever the sugar-free sweetener is, it's just not cutting it, Starbucks. Give us more sugar-free options. I'm sure I'm not alone.
They had it. We had a sugar-free mocha, a sugar-free cinnamon dulce. It wasn't popular.
I would totally get those. I wish I had more options than just vanilla or no flavor at all. Like that's so annoying. But like, I think people go to Starbucks because it always sucks whenever prices increase, and essentially your quality of life sort of degrades a little bit from increased prices, because whatever you're being paid isn't commensurate with inflation. And so people are annoyed at the inflation, and they blame the person who has no control over it, essentially. But
congratulations, Bronson. You just described the problem in America.
Yeah.
Prices went up and wages stayed the same.
That's right.
And so that's why I don't understand people who are like, well, if the minimum wage goes up, everything is going to get more expensive. That's the problem. Everything is already more expensive, and wages stayed exactly the same. I think people want to blame minimum wage workers for demanding to have a living wage.
Blame the company for raising prices.
It's like these greedy corporations.
They have way more resources to not make as much profit if they decided to.
It's like
they totally could.
The CEO is making $2-3 million a month.
Yeah. Like one of the big philosophies,
they can afford to give up $1 million and totally be fine.
Like one of the big philosophies is like you shouldn't tax corporations because they're just going to pass the buck to the consumer, unless you pass a law that prevents them from doing that.
Yeah,
potentially that's an idea.
It's almost as if the government can do that. Oh my god.
I mean, we have antitrust laws to ensure that monopolies don't exist.
Why can't we have
why don't we have other regulations that prevent companies from passing the buck to the consumer in that respect? Maybe that's a possibility. I don't know.
I have a story about bad customers. So today a guy came in. He said, and I don't know if it's because I'm delirious, it's not, but he said, can I get a matcha latte and a sandwich? And then I'm like, okay, grande hot matcha latte. He goes, yes. And then what sandwich? He goes, that one, pointing to a board I could not see. I'm like, okay, which sandwich? He goes, the first one. I'm like, sir.
Did you not just turn around and look and see what?
No. It was like in front of me.
Oh, what do you mean?
So it's like I'm behind the counter.
Uh-huh.
There's this glass case next to me.
Uh-huh.
And on top of it, facing him.
Oh, so he's looking at a case he can grab the sandwich
He
from?
can't stand it, but it's a picture.
Oh, okay.
It has the pictures of all our breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, okay.
So it's like he can see that I can't see it because like the board is literally facing away from me.
Uh-huh.
He goes, the first one. I'm like, sir, what's the first? Just tell me the name of the sandwich. It's written on it.
Yeah.
And then he goes, that one. And then this lady behind him just says, he wants this sandwich. I'm like, thank you.
Did he have difficulty with English, maybe?
No, he spoke with a flawless English accent.
So, American accent or an English accent?
American accent.
So he was just being lazy.
Yeah.
That's annoying as fuck.
But then it gets worse. And then I go, okay, so matcha latte and the mozzarella sandwich. And would that be all for you today? He goes, no. He's like, what's the total? I go, $11.75. Mm-hmm. He goes, 11 with $5.75. I'm like, oh, like the matcha latte and the sandwich is together. He goes, no, I don't want the latte.
Yeah, it's that entitled attitude about it. Like, it's like, you don't dictate the prices. You know?
He goes, I don't want the latte. I didn't say I want the latte. I don't want matcha. I just want the sandwich. I'm like,
yeah.
Sir, sorry. I'm like, sir, we went through an entire thing about you wanting the
prices
latte.
are also listed next to each item, man. Do the math.
And then
I know taxes may be tricky in your head, but you can guesstimate, surely.
And at Starbucks, we don't do taxes. It's already included in the prices.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's because of a California law that allows corporate. I think. Don't quote me on this, but
does that ultimately lead to higher prices? Because whenever you tax things, they're usually kind of odd numbers. Like they're like $22.73. Like that's not a round number. So ultimately, by doing that, doesn't it kind of increase the price? Because you add a few more cents to make it sound cleaner.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But like I think the reason why Starbucks is able to do that is because like California. Don't quote me on this, but California allows them to guess how much taxes they're going to pay and kind of work with the prices already. So it's like you essentially, I don't know. We can move on from it.
This is speculation.
This is speculation. I'm speculating a whole lot of nonsense.
This is cold, hard facts about
very important issues.
Very important issues.
Bronson, it's not that hard. Anyways, so this guy says he just wants the latte. I'm like, the sandwich, not the latte. I'm like, okay, great. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. That's my bad. I'll get rid of it. It's $5.75 for just the sandwich. He goes, yeah, your mistake, because I never said that. And I was like, okay, I'm so sorry.
It's like a badly written asshole character in a show.
It really is. And he's like, yeah, it's your mistake because it's not my mistake. I'm like, sir, everyone just heard you ask for a latte. Okay, so I want to know any asshole stories that you have.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm starting to hear it now whenever I move.
I mean, so my background is in selling auto parts, like used car parts.
Yeah.
So in that world, prices can be negotiable sometimes. But whenever I worked for my dad, the prices that we had for our parts were always the lowest around, which was really frustrating if we had a part that we thought we had and then it was actually not in good condition, and so we had to find a replacement. And because we priced everything so much lower than everybody else, we would have to end up spending way more time trying to find one that maybe we could still keep a profit on, or we would have to break the news to the customer and say, we have to, I can get you this one for this price, which is a little bit higher. And that can be frustrating. But all the time, my dad, he would sell cars and I would sell parts. He would deal with customers who would just try to nag him on price, which is just hilarious. It's like, I think, maybe you should let's do this. I have cash, it's like I have this much money in cash. Let's just do it for cash, which by the way is not easier on a business. Like if you want to buy a car with cash, I believe that there's like a limit to how much you can pay without having to like write a report to the IRS. Like if you get like 10 grand in cash or something, I think that you then have to do extra work as the business to deal with that. So it's like sometimes it really isn't better. We always would do like wire transfer or money order or something like that. But, we would have a lot of customers that didn't have any kind of concept of how you have to wait in the queue.
What's a queue?
We have other people who've already gone ahead of you.
I have a question. What's a queue?
It's a line. So you know how when you go to Disneyland and they have the
I don't
lines
go to
get
Disneyland.
Okay, so have you ever had to wait for anything in your life?
Wait.
Okay. Well, basically, other people exist on the planet. Okay, it's not.
I know, like the people who are there to like cheer me on.
Okay, well, so imagine that you live in a world where you aren't the central character. And
I'm like a psychic?
Other people have their own lives, their own minds and wants and dreams, and they make their. You know how you place orders for things, you buy things.
Yes.
Other people do too, but we don't have as many people working here as you exist. So, whenever we have fewer people who can help the people who want things,
yes,
it creates a sort of
why can't they
list.
just help me?
It creates an order.
Why can't they just help me though?
Because there's a thing called fairness. And it's
how is it fair that I have to, what's the word you used?
Wait,
how come, why is that fair?
Because that way everybody gets the same treatment. Everyone waits.
What's everyone? I'm talking about me here. And I want what I want and I want it now.
I say go to Amazon because no one ever waits with Amazon, but you may not find the thing you're looking for or at the price that you want it for. Because that's the thing we would have to tell people. It's like, look, if you want this part right now, you could maybe go to your local dealer and buy it brand new for 100 times as much. You know what I mean? Like we would sell, parts that go on your engine for $50 for a used part. If you got it new, it might be $400. You know what I mean?
As someone who knows nothing about cars,
it's a trade-off.
That sounds impressive to me.
But it is a trade-off. Let me tell you something. So one time I sold a radio for a Lexus. We had a Lexus LS 460. It's their top of the line sedan, and this is like probably 2007, 2008. The radio and the air conditioning and the satellite navigation, it's all one big unit, okay?
Yeah.
And we had a car that was vandalized that we were looking to get the parts to put in its place. I called Lexus because they had a few different kinds of that entertainment system.
Yeah.
And you have to match it to your car. And they said, oh, this must have been a totaling, because whenever I would call the dealer, they could give me the part number and I could match it to the right one. And I said, how do you know that it was totaled? And he said, well, a brand new entertainment system, which we were selling for $700, $18,000 from a dealer for a 2007, like a car that's almost 15, 20 years old. I mean, I don't know what's 2024 minus out. I'm so stupid.
It wouldn't be
17 years old.
Like what, 2022?
17 years old. Well, yeah, at that point it was a few years ago. So it was always crazy to me that people, I get it. If you're in a place where the price is not dictated by some distant entity, it's dictated by people running a small business, how people may feel a little more entitled to negotiation in those situations. But also have an understanding of how good you have it with the prices that we're offering it for, and do a little bit of basic research to see who else is offering it and what they're charging, because we are the cheapest around.
You see, but now you're asking me to.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's like people they just want to pay less. That's all it is. And it's just like, sometimes the negotiation can be admirable, sometimes not. I remember whenever I was talking to my brother-in-law, who's Turkish, in Turkey, I think they do a lot more negotiation, a lot more haggling, just culturally. And so I would explain to him that, there are certain situations where it's totally cool to negotiate, but then with Americans, you have to get to a point where it's just like, this is all we're going to do. We're not going to keep going with this. If you give a counteroffer, I give a counteroffer, that's it. You know what I mean? Like you just don't keep going, because then it becomes obnoxious.
I feel like,
and
since America is all about efficiency.
Yeah.
It's just annoying having to do that. It's like, I just want to go to a store. Tell me what you want me to pay. I'll pay you and I'm going to go.
Or I just won't go.
Or I won't go if
there's
I can't
so many
afford
options.
it. Like, there's so many options.
There's so many coffee shops. You don't have to go to Starbucks. There's Dunkin' Donuts, which is not as good, but
it's
you know
not.
what I mean.
But I do wish we had
I
do wish we had
donuts at Starbucks.
Dunkin's Munchkins.
Yeah,
they're so good.
They are very good. We should get some after that.
We should actually. I'm so down for
I
want to
go pig out on some Dunkin' Donuts.
Let's go.
But then also, like, There's Cosmix, which is that McDonald's breakfast chain.
You see, I don't want to die. So
I really want Cosmix to come to Los Angeles. I just want to try it out. I might have, pancreatic failure. It might literally leap out of my wherever. Where is a pancreas?
Burn
here, I think, around here. It's gonna burst out like that alien in Alien.
It will burn your stomach. We should talk about Aliens next week because I'm gonna go see it tomorrow.
Oh, Alien Romulus?
Yes.
Yeah, we could. Well, yeah, we can talk about that next episode because it'll be a couple of weeks from now. I don't know if it's still going to be relevant at that point. Maybe I don't know if it's even relevant now that I'm talking about it.
It's not.
It's really good. I've seen it. It's very good.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
but
but bad customers. Yeah,
they suck.
They do.
Don't be bad.
Don't be a bad customer. Have I mean, it is staggering to me.
Empathy is it's like people forget that you are a human being. Mm-hmm. And they just treat you like people who come in the morning and they're jerks. Mm-hmm. It's like, I have a whole life outside of this, right? Mm-hmm. And I am being forced by capitalism to show up here at 6 o'clock in the morning, which I don't think anyone should be awake at 6 o'clock in the morning. Mm-mm. It's ungodly.
Yeah.
I'm being forced by capitalism to be here.
Except for the people like DoorDash drivers, they should be up at 6.
No, everyone should be asleep. Everyone should be asleep. Okay. The world should not exist at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, France.
Thank you. So I'm being forced by capitalism to be here at 6 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. I am being forced to smile and be happy.
It is a tough job. That would be
the least you can do. Is not be a cranky little bitch.
That was the most exhausting part of working as a salesperson. It is really exhausting when you're an introvert to have so much energy and be super plucky with everybody because you have to be welcoming and warm and I think there were so many times when I was just like, I'm just beat by the end of the day. It's like I have no problem being nice to people. It's just like I'm just exhausted from acting all day. That's what it is. You're an actor. Whenever you're a salesperson, you are an actor and you're acting like you give a shit about the customer. You may not. You probably don't. But you have to act like you do. And my performances were pretty damn...
Bronson, I care.
Perfect.
About every...
That is true.
Every
also
single person that enters Starbucks.
I felt bad anytime somebody was stressed out because then I kind of took that on as my stress. Like if I had a customer who was upset about something,
I did not.
I felt bad and I wanted to resolve it for them.
I do not. I have the mindset of I see sometimes hundreds of people every day. Mm-hmm. If you have a bad day, I hope it gets better.
Yeah.
I am not going to take it on. That's you have to build walls around you because it's like I can be nice to you, I can be shallowly pleasant and all that stuff, but if you have something deep going on, unless you're really cute, I don't really care.
That's a good point. Yeah,
thank you. Boy or girl, goes both ways. If you're pleasant to look at, you can tell me about your problems because it's like you could
depends. I think it depends on how I think it's for me it's like, are you cute in a way that looks like you tried really hard? Or are you just kind of like girl next door cute?
I like all cute. Cute is cute. Hot is hot.
But I can tell pretentious versus not pretentious cute.
I feel like you find anyone who puts in more than 2 seconds into their look as pretentious. Like for me, if someone puts in a lot of effort into their look, I appreciate that for the artistry that it is. It's like, girl, you took time to put on makeup or you did your hair. If you're a guy, you went to the gym. Good for you. I could never. You lifted very, very heavy
I hate
weights.
You so much.
You got so sweaty.
You don't go to the gym and you have that body. That's what fucking kills me every day. I go to the gym twice a week. I should probably go more. But I don't know.
I also don't.
It's tough for us thick boys out there,
Haven't you heard?
What?
SZA. She needs a big boy. She needs a big boy.
Does. Yeah. But I'm sure there have been enough applications to SZA's job interview.
Yeah. So if someone puts an effort into their look, I like it. I'm like, you tried. And I appreciate, whenever I see someone comes in and they have an outfit and it's like, you tried to wear an outfit. And it's like, I love that. Beauty, I think, can be a form of self-expression where it's like, I want to try and do something. So I'm going to do it. But also, if you're just naturally gorgeous, it's like, I hate you. But also,
It's tough to be beautiful.
I know it's hard for beautiful people. Like people judge them.
This is why we need sandbags, guys.
Yes,
these shitty.
We should just go to the beach and get a sand, and get sand,
or better stand,
or either one. But you see, better stands cost more money. So I say let's take the free option, go to the beach and get free sand.
We'll go.
But beautiful people have it so hard. Everybody has to look at you all the time. Do you know how hard that is, Bronson? No, you don't. People.
Wait, everybody. Oh, you mean from their perspective, it must suck to have all the uglies looking at them? Is that your
all
point?
the time?
Oh man, that must be a real bummer.
Yeah, you will never understand.
Yeah.
So people have to look at you. People like just tell you look good all the time, and you honestly can't even trust them. Are they just saying that because you look good, or because like they're being nice?
Yeah. That's a good point. It's kind of like if you're royalty, like how can you trust that anybody actually likes you for you? That's why Coming to America, such an essential film for royalty to watch.
Yeah, I mean, like I get complimented on like my beautiful smile and my sunny personality all the time. Is it even true anymore?
And you go, stop lying.
Exactly. It's like, if you tell me something once, I might believe you, but over and over again, it's like the world is conspiring against me.
That's fair. Yeah.
Right? So beautiful people have to deal with that. They have to be they're constantly being looked at, constantly getting compliments.
Right.
And then on top of that, when I try to look good, it's the same level of compliment as if I don't even if I try, I get compliment. If I don't try, I get compliment. Do you even see the effort that I'm putting into my looks?
Then why are you trying then? That's the real question. Why bother?
I want an escalation of compliments.
This is the thing. This is why I don't try.
Listen.
I just go, it ain't happening with or without the trying.
Listen.
So I've accepted my lot in life.
I see ugly people that I have ugly people that I work with. I know it's shocking, but I do. We have to be nice to them. And so no one talks to them. No one even wants to look at them. But then when they try, they get so many compliments. That must be so nice.
Yeah.
It's like you go from 0 to 100. Yeah. But I'm just always at like 50 and 50.
Well, it's like that makes you think, can you trust any of the compliments anymore? If they're giving compliments to Jabba the Hutt over there making a smoothie.
Well, if Jabba the Hutt puts on lipstick and gets a lipo.
I guess.
You got to notice. He's like, oh, you don't look as disgusting.
Is this going to get us canceled, this conversation? I don't know.
I don't know. I hope not. I am delirious and just saying shit.
Just making observations about reality.
Yeah.
That should be the other show. That should be the name of our show, Observations About Reality.
Yeah. No. Cold hard facts.
Cold hard facts about very important. I'll never remember the very important issues.
You will always. I will make sure you do. So the bottom line is, it's hard being pretty. So be nice to pretty people.
There you go.
Thank you.
Of course.
We have another topic that I want to talk about. If you want to move on.
Yeah.
Bikes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't actually want to talk about bikes. You do.
I did actually want to talk about bikes. So, I think it was last weekend. We were hanging out with some friends that have e-bikes, and I got into a unintentionally heated conversation with a very passionate cyclist who doesn't like jokes about cyclists.
I feel like if no one knows you,
sure,
it is very easy to get into heated debates with you.
Yeah, that's what Ian said, because I'm pretty dry. So like if I make a thing that I think is funny, it might be taken as serious. And he's been dealing with a bunch of shit with, like their local government, people arguing about not wanting bike lanes because it's going to screw up traffic. And so we were talking about, because I was confused as to why bikes go on the same side of the street as traffic. Like for me, I always thought,
how dare those filthy bikes?
Because I always thought, wouldn't it make more sense in my limited thought? And I'm just clarifying, I'm wrong. I always thought it made more sense. I always thought it made more sense for a bike to be on the opposite side so you could see every car coming. But they correctly pointed out that if you're on the side of the street with the car going in the same direction as you, if something were to happen, you might get injured, but you will not die. But if you're on the opposite side of the street, well, not necessarily.
Eventually
you could die, but I mean, it would be it'd be far less likely to get in any serious accident.
Like,
Whereas if you're going on the opposite side, you may be going 15 miles an hour one way and the car going against you is 40 miles an hour. I might need a physicist to confirm this, but I believe that makes it a 55 mile an hour impact if you were to touch. Not to mention the gust of wind from the car blowing past you in the opposite direction.
yeah.
And that never occurred to me, but I always just thought, I've gone on bike trips before and I always got nervous whenever cars came up behind me. And I thought, why are we doing it like this? Wouldn't it make more sense to see the car, But I realized I was in a space that was very sacred for bikers. I was in a really cool little bike restaurant over in Frogtown, which I've never been to before. Yeah,
Pause.
sure.
Bike Town?
Frogtown is the name of it.
But what did you say before that?
It's a bike restaurant. So it's a restaurant. So let me just explain.
You just casually said that like that's a normal thing. What do you mean bike restaurant?
Well, I would have explained it, but you just interrupted me. So a bike restaurant, this is a restaurant that is for cyclists. It's called Spoke. It's actually a really cool little place in Frogtown where you can only really get there if you're on a bike. There's a bike path that goes up the LA River. So it's like perfect for bike traffic. And so everybody there is dressed like they're in the fucking Tour de France. And here's what kills me. I'm cool with bikes. I really enjoy bikes. And I got to ride around on one of my friend's e-bikes whenever we left. We got lunch there and then we went biking up to like Griffith Park. And it was really fun. I've never been on an e-bike before. But why do people get into these bike outfits like they're in some kind of like Tron Legacy ripoff? Like their outfits are so crazy, like for the cyclists, they have I get it, but like, here's the deal. They say one of the arguments is, well, it's making it more aerodynamic. Well, you're in LA, so it's not a place that really gives you a lot of freedom for just consistent travel. It's stop start traffic every fucking place you go, except for like the one or two bike trails. And if you're on those bike trails, are you training to go on a race? Why do you need to shave off the 2 miles an hour or whatever, however you measure wind resistance? Like, what is it really gaining you? I feel like you just like the outfit, and that's fine, but just say that. If you're going to dress up like a condom when you go out on your bike with pants that look like you've just had some kind of ass surgery, okay?
But like,
just say that you like the look.
Look so good.
No, they don't. Everybody looks like they have something wrong with them.
They just want to grab an ass in like
No,
tight.
because it is an ass. It's a pad. It's like they get those pants because bikes, whenever they were invented, they thought, let's make the most uncomfortable seat humanly possible. And no one's ever thought, you know what? Why don't we just give them better seats? And it's like, no, we're going to give them tights that they have to dress in. Like, here's the deal.
They look like superheroes.
And
haven't you ever seen a hot like person in a bike outfit and you're like, damn?
It's like, I get it because I was thinking about, I like skiing. And so whenever you go skiing, you have to wear a specific outfit to go skiing because it keeps you warm and dry. But like, you don't ski to work. You know what I mean? Like, biking is just like, you can ride a bike in jeans and a t-shirt. You don't have to wear this outfit.
But like,
it's just,
why do
just
it
admit,
halfway?
if you like wearing the outfit, just say it's because you like wearing the outfit.
You would judge them for liking the outfit.
I'm judging them anyway. I'm judging them. I'm judging them on the fact that they're lying to themselves. The denial of the cyclists that this is for saving fucking wind resistance. I mean, here's a completely valid argument that it's moisture wicking. That's totally valid. It's hot in LA, and if you're on your bike, you get really sweaty. So if you're wearing clothes that are moisture wicking, yes, you do. I was soaked.
I don't.
Well, you have no fat on you, so you don't have to sweat because your body is in perfect, like, it is the most efficient factory in the world. So you have no waste products.
I feel like this is discriminatory.
I don't think so. I think
against my lack of fat.
Yeah. Maybe.
Bronson, I am trying to tell you about a deeply personal issue here.
Yeah, that's fair.
That I don't feel warm on a bike.
I'm sorry.
And you just dismiss.
I'm telling you,
cancel
it sucks.
Bronson.
I'm telling you, it sucks. Just, you know what? you're lucky because you don't have to wear one of these bike outfits. But I would if I wanted to lose the moisture. I would rather be drenched than wear one of these fucking things because they're also like completely unforgiving if you are not the most in shape. You know, they're really just for the most.
See, that's not what I thought you were going to say when you started with they're the most unforgiving.
They're unforgiving. They're super tight. And it's just like, every roll.
Like for a man, think about it.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, no, for sure. There's definitely bulges for sure.
But imagine like stuff happened. Will it just start to see you grow?
Oh yeah, no, I mean it'd be just like the French guy at the Olympics. That's like he was a pole vaulter, but like it's similar kind of vibes. It's like you're looking at everybody's junk and their rolls, and everybody looks like they look like they're in Tron. And you go to a bike store, and it's just so funny when you're an outsider like me looking into bike culture because it just seems so insane if you don't understand it. Like they have gel as food. Like, I'm like, you guys don't even eat a damn sandwich? What the fuck is this? You know, like, this is crazy. And so I was talking to Ian about it. He said, well, the reason is because it's broken down into more basic sugars. So it's actually more efficient fuel for your body. So that way you don't have to deal with...
Food is fuel.
But, like, how fucking bleak is that of a way to live in the sense of, like, if you're a hardcore cyclist, like... you don't think of food as a joy. No. You think of it as just as fuel for the body. Like, I don't, it just seems so weird to me.
As someone who
as the pursuit of shaving off a little bit of wind resistance.
As someone who like
you like bikes
forgets to eat.
Yeah.
I understand how people just see food as fuel. Like there are times where it's like I wake up, I'm just like, oh, it's 2:00. I have not eaten today, and I'm starting to feel like I'm gonna pass out. Oh right, I should eat something.
Let me tell you something. As a slightly big boned boy, not a moment goes by where I forget to eat. Where I'm just like, oh yeah, it's breakfast time right now. I have an internal clock of it's time to eat.
Listen,
sandwich.
I want to gain more weight. I want to put on muscles. I want to get all like.
I would love
sexy.
to forget about a meal. I think that would do me some good, frankly. But you know,
you just distract yourself with work.
It's the one thing I can't forget. You know. Is the rumbly and the tumbly.
So I do like bikes.
Winnie the Pooh would put it.
Yeah, I do like bikes, and that brings us
like
to...
this. Is this weird? This looks bad.
No,
this looks weird.
It's a very bisexual way of sitting.
Yeah, I can't sit normally. I never sit normally.
It's the bisexual in you.
I don't know why, but maybe that's
because you're bisexual.
But and the irony is not lost on me that I'm wearing a Subaru shirt right now because I think Subaru drivers can often be not only also cyclists but equally insufferable in terms of just like.
You are
making just I don't know, but yeah, I like Subarus because I like going camping and I like the culture. I like the idea that I'm saving the planet.
You've never been
with a
camping
Subaru.
once.
I've gone camping. I went camping whenever I used to camp way more living in Virginia, and I just haven't had really time to plan out a camping trip. But I would really like to go camping again. Last time was last November. Maybe. I mean, I feel like. Our birthday, December, most campgrounds are closed between Labor Day and Memorial Day.
Oh, really? I didn't actually know that.
Well, more of them are. It's just because it's too cold for a lot of places, especially if we go somewhere up in the mountains. It's going to be like frozen.
That's fair.
Maybe Joshua Tree or something. Who knows? Ooh. We could check that out.
But it's desert. It's like dead and ugly.
It's transformative.
I don't care.
It's just for shrooms. It's not for camping.
If I want to, really transform, I will get plastic surgery.
I miss the deciduous forests of the East Coast.
I do miss
they're
the
so
greenery.
pretty.
It's so pretty. Yeah.
That's the downside of living in LA. Is like there's a little bit of greenery if you go to like Malibu Canyon or Topanga State Park. You know, I think that's what it's called, Topanga State Park. But it's just like so much of it's just so brown and dusty and just looks dead. I don't know.
Anyways. Brings us to. So I don't have a. I like bikes because I don't have a car.
Yeah.
And that brings us to our third topic of the day. Mm-hmm. I need to get real serious right now because this is actually, I think, a very important issue, and I don't think a lot of people talk about it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like. In America, especially in America, and I don't think there's anywhere else in the world where it's this bad. I feel like carless people are the last marginalized people. Mm-hmm. We are discriminated against We have no rights. Cities are literally built to destroy our morale. That's genocide.
Jesus, that's a little extreme, huh?
That is the genocide of carless people. Is what America wants.
I don't think that's what America wants.
LA used to have a decent public transportation system.
I know. I wish it.
And do you know what happened?
What happened to those?
White people did to rich black neighborhoods? They destroyed those railways. They destroyed those trains.
Yeah.
For cars.
With the I-10, right? That was a big one. Is it cut through a lot of like black communities?
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the cars.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh right. Yeah, that's fair. I apologize.
Destroyed. Thank you.
Sorry, the carless.
Fuck black people. I'm talking about the real discrimination.
Hey, I did not say that. I did not say that. How dare you? How dare you?
What, that I get to talk about black people?
No.
Does a white man want to tell me how I should
That's fair. Say what you will. I have no power.
Thank you. Welcome to the new America. Conservatives try to warn you.
That's right.
So, as a carless person, I just want to say the discrimination we face, especially in America, is heartless. It's cruel. And can you just please build a bike lane?
No. The reason is because cars, I have a car and I use it and I just like my way of being.
Cars are evil.
No, they're not. They're fun. You can take your family places in them.
You can do that in a train.
If your wife is pregnant, you can't take her to a hospital on a bike.
You can call an ambulance.
You can't. Well, if you don't have a phone. If you don't have a phone, but you happen to have a car for some reason, you can take her in the car. If somebody just stabbed you, I don't think you could drive.
Yeah.
But somebody else could drive you. They can't take you
like
there.
the ambulance.
You can't sit in a bike basket.
Like a bus.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but the bus has to stop for everybody. Where are you going to go to the driver and say, hey, could you just miss all these stops?
No,
because
you just wait.
I got stabbed.
It's called patience, Bronson.
It's called hemorrhaging.
This is the entitlement of car people. So what? Just because you're bleeding, the bus has to skip all this. No, you wait. You bleed slowly.
This is the future of the carless. This is why they deserve to be marginalized. Is this insanity?
Insanity
is absolutely insane.
Most of human history, we've actually lived without cars.
But I just remember thinking, because we were talking with our friends and they were telling me about all the benefits of bikes and things like that, and I just thought
people would be hotter.
Sure, I mean you'd be to an extent, because I think a lot of people who really are into bikes just look malnourished. Frankly. So good. They don't.
Don't you just want to see those skin, bones wrapped in skin and just tongue it down?
Yeah, I almost thought maybe bikes were invented as an explanation for that physique. Is I just am a biker. It's not unfortunate genetics for me. I just ride my bike all the time. You know
I wasn't born like this.
Just say, okay, you just ride your bike a lot. Okay, exactly. That's fine. But how are you gonna get to grandma's house? On a bus. The bus isn't going to your grandma's house, okay?
Listen, if grandma...
Are you going to take your bike on the bus?
Yes.
It can't fit.
There's a rack for it at the front.
On a Greyhound bus?
Yes.
Going across country, they have a bike rack?
Well, you could put it at the bottom of the bus, where they put luggage.
Yeah, but then you're going to get axle grease and, chain grease all over everybody's bags.
They can deal with it. Listen... No. But also, this is, again...
What if grandma's house had just... The entire driveway was just spikes?
Listen, I just want to say, if grandma can't afford to come see me...
I guess a car wouldn't help.
I don't get to see grandma.
Here's the thing, though. When we went biking, there were a bunch of these pointy seeds at Griffith Park that punctured the tires. And I just remember looking at those seeds and I'm like... because my friend, he the rest of the day after the kind of slightly heated, which I also felt bad that I offended him with my questioning of bike culture. But he was
because it's offensive.
The rest of the day was explaining to me how much cheaper it is to do things on a bike. He's like, you see this tire, it only costs $30 and this and this and this. And I thought, well, yeah, but a car tire might withstand a fucking seed, but as opposed to this thin veneer of rubber.
But here's the thing,
it's actually more expensive because it's a more durable item. You
But
know?
here's the thing,
You can drive overseas all day in my car.
But here's the thing, on a slightly more serious note,
Yeah.
that I do think genuinely though, like the reliance on cars in the U.S. has genuinely destroyed communities and like the sense of community
Absolutely.
that it built.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do anything, you have to get in a car, box yourself off from the world, drive, get what you want, get back in your car. Like that's why I think that explains a lot of people's mental illness. Not that there's genuine mental illness. I would know. I have a lot of them. But I think something that could help is like, imagine you like wake up and you can walk to the grocery store. I walk to the grocery stores. There are people in the neighborhood that I'm starting to recognize now.
Yeah. That's one of the
I'm
things
just like, I see
Yeah.
what we walk all the time, and I take a path, and I'm seeing neighbors sitting out on the porch.
Yeah.
And it's like, I do think just the fact, and I think I'm very fortunate. We're very fortunate because we live on the west side in LA.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more walkable.
Yeah, for sure. And
Which is so nice. The fact
Yeah.
that I can walk to place. I can walk if I'm making dinner. I can just walk to the grocery store if I forget something.
Right.
I can walk to the movie theater. We can walk to so many things around us.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the things that they pointed out to me, which was kind of eye-opening, is the whole, one of my biggest pet peeves with living in Los Angeles, because I lived in New York for 5 years. In New York, I didn't have a car, so because they have such a good public transit system that you can just get anywhere on a subway and pretty much get anywhere very easily.
Yeah.
Here, it's so much more restricted of a metro that you are dependent on buses, and frankly, a car is a better option than a bus in terms of directness, because you're both going to be susceptible to traffic, but at least you're only going to where you need to go rather than stopping every 5 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then also the ability to have spontaneous experiences is so much better with a bike, because you can just go wherever you want. You can see whatever you want. You can happen upon things and just put your bike over to the side and just experience it. Whereas with cars, you are so dependent on there being parking ahead of the time. I think it's just, it was really a very informative, eye-opening afternoon last weekend of just like, damn, I kind of want to get a bike, but nevertheless.
Oh my God, Bronson.
But I think
are you going woke?
My whole concern is with bikes, I still can't. You can't change the fact that road rage is real.
Yeah.
People are assholes.
Yeah.
And even if they aren't experiencing any road rage whatsoever, cars will just destroy a bike. They're bigger, they're heavier, they have so much more power to harm.
Yeah.
That it is always going to have a risk somehow when you're riding on a shared road,
But here's the
especially
thing.
in a hectic city like Los
And
Angeles.
I think this is where, like, you
Yeah.
know, us carless people
Yeah.
have really thought about. We've done the work, Bronson.
Yeah.
We've thought about this, and the solution is having dedicated bike lanes, having better public transit will be better for everyone overall.
Yeah.
Because imagine if you could do most of what you need to do on a daily basis without ever getting in your car. That's less cars on the road. So traffic will be a whole lot better for the people who do need to get places.
Yeah.
In cars.
That's
If you
true.
could just take, like, imagine if you want to go out and you could just take a bus down the street, go get drunk, and then take a bus back home. That's a drunk driver off the road.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I mean, I'm excited about the fact that they're building like the people mover to get to LAX.
Yeah.
They've just I think it was earlier this week,
What a dumb name.
the people mover. Well, I think it's kind of a nod. Maybe it's not intentional, but it reminds me of like the one in Disney World is the people mover.
I hate it even more now.
Tomorrowland people mover. It was
hate it
originally
even more
called
now.
the Wedway people mover because Wed is Walter Elias Disney, WED. Wedway people mover.
I hate it even more. But people mover is a dumb name. But I just think, like, it is nice. Like, like being able to go to the Grove.
Yeah.
Just being able to walk to it.
But I gotta say, it is really nice to just get in a car and not have to like deal with a bunch of people. That's what's really nice about a car.
Yeah, I think this
'Cause,
is the
I mean,
difference between an introvert and an extrovert.
Yeah.
I don't mind dealing with, but like if you like if
Are you
imagine
saying
you
that
could,
carless people are all extroverts?
I'm saying carless people are better.
Yeah.
We have more empathy.
Okay.
We're just overall better. God made us superior. That's why we don't have cars.
If you could drive, you're saying you wouldn't? if your eye wasn't fucked up, because this is why he's carless. It isn't out of choice, guys. It's not like he has some moral high horse. It's because you have an eye that's fucked up by. So if you had depth perception, are you saying you wouldn't be at least a little interested to get your learners?
No, because I just
think of how nice it must be to drive a convertible with your hair in the wind. And I get that if you're on a bike, you're in the wind too. But you have to wear a helmet when you're on a bike. Your hair doesn't get to billow in the wind.
Well, my hair never gets to billow.
Well, mine does. But if you're in a nice drop top. I miss driving a convertible so bad.
We should rent a convertible and go wine tasting in Santa Barbara.
Yes, I would love to. I've had I think 2 convertibles that I've driven in the past.
Dude, I think we need to do that before it gets cold though.
Let's figure out a date. We can do it.
Wait, this Saturday we were thinking of going to watch a horse racing thing.
What does that have to do with this?
We can rent a car to the horse racing thing.
We're gonna rent, but that's not even pretty. Like we're just gonna go see a horse race.
No, but we have to drive to it. It's gonna be like an hour drive
on a highway. No, you don't want to get a convertible on a highway. That's
I feel like
just
it would be
chaos.
I feel like it would be really nice to drive a convertible down PCH.
No, that's different.
Yeah,
but we're not going on the PCH. We're probably going on like the 5.
Maybe, how about like the weekend after that? After next week. Maybe. I don't have any plans.
We'll figure it out. We could go to get like a Turo rental car. You know those like the ones where somebody's personal car you can rent out.
And then we could like divide it up.
Or we could go to Hollywood Boulevard because they have those Ferrari convertibles, the 2-seaters, and I can drive stick because I'm a man. So I can.
Because you have a stick.
I do. That's right.
So you can touch a stick and then you can move it.
It is so nice to drive stick. I miss driving.
My last
car was manual.
I also really love driving stick.
Yeah.
Remember to love and cherish carless people. We are the last hope against this what do you call cars? Automobiles? Automobilic.
I call them cars.
Automobilic hellscape we're in, the apocalypse.
Automotive.
That's the word I was looking for. I was like, this something.
Relating to automobiles. Yeah. Automotive. Yeah.
Automotive apocalypse we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
This destruction of our planet. Think about how cars pollute. And now you have self-driving cars. So now they're stealing people's jobs. Cars are stealing people's jobs.
Actually, I have a good question.
What?
I'm not quite done to finish this episode yet. You've inspired me. Who is more insufferable? Cyclists or electric car drivers? Because they're both like...
Wait, I was going to say... I was going to say cyclists. But then I remember... but then I remembered...
The Cybertruck.
Tesla drivers count. And they're really fucking insufferable.
Here's the thing about a Tesla
Except for
driver.
My friends who drive Teslas. They're nice people.
That's right. Anybody who I know who I like, if they drive a Tesla, they're cool.
They're cool.
But like, I think
all the other ones.
It's a specific kind of Tesla. If it's a Model 3, I think it's more of just like the $100,000 Tesla that makes you insufferable. If you're in a 3 or a Y,
it's like
they're fine. X and S.
Those are the ones. When I see someone with a Cybertruck, I'm just like, fuck.
Oh, and the Cybertruck is the most.
It's the most.
It's a terrible
disgusting looking thing I've ever seen.
It's like, get a Honda Ridgeline.
It looks like a Lego.
Get a Honda Ridgeline if you don't want a real truck.
It looks like an ugly Lego that you can't find where it goes because it's so weirdly shaped.
Did you see the video of the Cybertruck trying to pull a Ford F-150 that was like stuck, and it pulled the entire bumper off with it
because it wasn't strong enough to pull the entire car.
Well, because it's supposed to be with a truck. You have the body of the truck, so most cars...
Bronson, don't explain cars to me like I'll understand.
Okay.
I will not.
Can I explain it in a super simple way?
Like I'm a 5-year-old. Go for it.
Okay, let me make sure I don't show a brand here. Most cars...
Oh my God, what could that be?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Most cars are made of an aluminum shell, and they have wheels that are bolted directly onto this shell. Yes.
So you are holding that a certain way because you don't want to show product.
Yeah.
Your shirt.
Fuck it, it's Gatorade Zero.
just super blasted in the chest. It's like, let me.
That is a good point. That's a great point. Okay, so most cars have what they call a unibody. The car that you're sitting in, the body of it is all that the car's core structure is. It's just a shell with wheels and everything bolted onto it.
I know this. I've seen ads.
Okay. So you may have seen like cars being built, or you may have seen like schematics of a car.
I saw the thing that what's the Nazi car brand? Volkswagen.
Jesus, I wasn't gonna say it.
Well,
they were founded during the Nazi era. So
they did a commercial like showing like a car without all the. I think it was them.
Maybe it's a Beetle.
A car without all the things women invented. But then it stripped it down to the core. So I have a visual of
okay. Yeah. So most
that's all I wanted to say.
With trucks, they have a shell, a cab that sits on top of a thick steel or iron frame. And it's the frame that makes a truck capable of doing heavy duty things, because this is much lighter and fragile. So a frame is there to be able to tow things so that you can bolt things to the frame itself. And so whenever the Cybertruck in this video tried to tow a truck, like an F-150, the whole bumper came off because I don't know that it has a frame. I may be wrong. Either it doesn't have a frame,
it's weak,
or it's not properly connected to the frame. But in both cases, not good for a truck, because you kind of need a fucking frame. This is why, like, Honda Ridgelines, whenever they came out, people had a big controversy. It's not a real truck, because technically a Honda Ridgeline doesn't have a frame. It's like a car. It's a unibody.
It's just a big car
with independent suspension. So, like, it doesn't have axles the way that trucks have big axles. They have wheels that can have their own suspension. So most cars, they're more comfortable. If you ride in a truck, they're a little bit rougher because they don't have independent suspension.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Cybertruck drivers are
insufferable.
Dicks.
No,
it's like you're not driving a good truck. You know, it looks like a dumpster.
Yeah.
And they're made of glue. Like did you see they're to be fair, there was a part that goes along the edge of the Cybertruck that is not it doesn't have anything to do with safety. It was more of like a design molding, and it's glued on. It's just glued on. Like, they didn't have clips. Maybe they did have clips, but it was predominantly glued on.
Thousands of dollars for this truck, and they use glue.
I'm like, bro, it's aluminum, you know? Like, why would you glue this fascia on? You know, I've never seen a car that was glued on. Everything that I've ever bought that was like a cosmetic part of the outside of a car, clips, screws, bolts, not fucking glue.
Anyways,
it was fucking Matilda with the super glue bumper on the front of it. You know, it was like, what the hell?
May I just say?
Yeah.
Tesla drivers suck. Let's move on, because I think if we spend any more time talking about cars, I will actually fall asleep.
You want to talk about cars?
I wanted to talk about the discrimination that carless people face.
That's fair. I like cars. I know a lot about cars.
And now we're talking about how insufferable Tesla drivers are, which I can get on board with.
Yeah.
Although cyclists,
but it's partly because of the shittiness of the product that makes them insufferable, is my point.
But no, it's the fact that they have they're vouching so hard for such a shitty product. Like, they think Teslas are like God's gift to mankind. Mm-hmm. They equate Teslas to the invention of fire by humans.
Maybe this is confirmation bias, but I do feel like when I'm in traffic, I've never had a Tesla offer to let me go first.
No.
They feel like, oh, I have the right of way. I'm in a Tesla. I'm saving the planet. Anyway.
I am going to go take a nap.
Yeah, you should. You've done a great podcast today. Bye.
Thank you. I did so good.
Yeah.
I also have like so much caffeine in my body right now. Do you want to know what I drank today?
What did you drink?
I went to
Coffee?
work. Let me tell you how much of it. Mm-hmm. So I got the blonde roast, which is like the most, caffeinated coffee at Starbucks. Mm-hmm. Then I added like 4 shots of espresso to it. Mm-hmm. Finished that. Had 3 more shots of espresso, and then I had 2 more shots of espresso.
Holy fuck!
And then I came home and I drank a Coke.
I remember one time I was going to a debate competition, and I'd forgotten that I had already drank a 5-hour energy because I didn't sleep that much the night before. I had a 5-hour energy, and then I drank one of those Starbucks double shot drinks that you get at the gas station.
Yeah.
I felt my jugular vein moving.
I
felt the boom, 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 and I'm like, oh, this can't be good.
Yeah.
I was fine ultimately, but it was really unnerving to feel your body do shit. I don't like it.
It's like you become aware. It's like, oh no.
I don't like feeling it.
It's always weird whenever I put my hand on my chest and I can feel my heartbeat.
Yeah.
And I can feel it pulse. I'm just like, oh, I don't want to.
I'm a bag of juice that's doing shit.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
like it.
I don't want that level of awareness.
I don't want to be aware. That's why I hate giving blood. I hate the juice box reality that I live in.
I don't hate the juice box reality.
Ugh.
I just hate the needle breaking my skin. And then it's like I have to visualize like a needle poking my vein.
Yeah, I can't.
No, thank you.
No matter what I do, I just end up getting really woozy. It's so. I mean, if I don't understand,
Could that be psychological?
It may be, but I don't know what to do to fix it.
Don't be weak, bitch. Man up.
I'll work on it.
Toughen up your brain.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's our imparting advice to everybody.
Toughen up your brain.
Toughen up, bitch.
No, toughen up your brain.
Toughen up your brain.
These
are cold hard facts for whatever the fuck you said at the end, because I'll never remember.
Cold hard facts about very important issues.
About very important issues. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. We are
watching.
Watching. I hope you guys are watching.
No one is watching.
Most people are watching the clips. You know, I personally like listening to long form podcasting, and eventually we will reach that audience. But we are growing slowly but surely. TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and we're also on every major podcasting directory. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, all of the big ones.
Are we on Tidal?
No, we're not on Tidal. I tried to get Beyonce on the phone. She said, me and Jay, we're doing our own podcast and we don't need any competition.
Oh my God. Listen, let me talk to her. I'm good friends with Beyonce. Hi, B.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I didn't realize you had an in.
I did.
That's
you should have.
great. That's
I call
great
her.
news.
I call her Yonsei.
Yonsei?
Oh, Yanni for short. Hi, Yanni.
Yeah.
She's my BBB.
Yeah. I call her Queen B.
She's my BBB.
Oh, she's your BBB?
Best bad bitch.
I see. What's Jay-Z's real name? I forget what it is. It's not Jay.
Curtis.
Is it Curtis?
I don't know. Let me Google it.
I thought their last name is Curtis.
Carter.
That's what it is. Curtis Carter sounds... That's like too many cuz. Where are we going with this?
Sean
Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
That sounds like a movie, like a character name.
Sean Carter sounds like the toughest hitman.
Oh, do you know why it sounds so familiar?
Like John Carter.
John Carter. That's what I was thinking.
John Carter, yeah.
And it rhymes? Okay.
Not a good movie.
No.
But anyway, thank you guys.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again in a couple weeks. Okay.
This has been Speculation About Nonsense.
No, this is cold hard facts about
very important issues.
I still won't remember it.